For thousands of years, humans and trolls lived together in peace and harmony. But then Christianity arrived in Europe, and the mission to spread it across all of Norway was entrusted to a young king named Olaf the Holy. Olaf ventured into the forests where trolls lived and turned them to stone by exposing them to the sunlight. With sword and Bible in hand, Olaf scoured the land of trolls, causing the trolls to grow wary of the sanctity of Christianity. Olaf slaughtered all the trolls. This story was being told by a father to his daughter, Nora. 30 years later, Nora is now all grown up. An old colleague of hers, Andreas, came to visit her. Nora and Andreas had once encountered a real troll together before, and now Andreas has come back seeking her help once again. Andreas tells her that things are different now. There's a new government, a new prime minister. Right there, Andreas saw his book and Nora's table. Nora looks at the book in his hands and says she's glad he dedicated it to her father. Andreas replies that he thinks her father would have liked what he wants to show her. Nora asks in surprise, "Is there more?"
But before that, please comment, like and subscribe.
Two of them board a helicopter and take off. On the way, Andreas has Nora sign a paper. They arrive at a power station called Vemork. Nora knows the professor here. Her last meeting with this professor didn't go very well. They had worked together on a previous project. Now, standing before Nora is a massive troll. These people have been researching it. Those who found him a century ago named him Jotun. The professors have installed UV lights around the troll for safety, powerful enough to turn it to stone instantly. Just then, Marion, the project leader, arrives. She absolutely did not want Nora to be part of this project. But if they don't show progress soon, the entire project will be shut down. And that's exactly why Andreas had to bring Nora in. And this troll isn't dead. It's in hibernation. The only sign of life in it is a pulse, and it's unlike any animal on the planet. It's like a forest floor. Its DNA matches that of a tree. Nora says, "Yes, these things are made of earth and stone." Andreas then introduces Nora to their old colleague, Sigrid. Sigrid is about to become the mother of Andreas's child. Right there in this room was Olaf the Holy's troll law from the year 1030. It's completely authentic, but half of it was missing. However, it clearly states, "Trolls shall hereby be expelled from this land." The researchers believe that if one troll was found before, and there's a troll here, then there could be more trolls out there. And to face them, humans need to know everything about trolls. But despite having so many resources, they haven't been able to figure anything out. So to prevent the project from being shut down and to make progress, they need Nora's help. Nora tells them she needs time to think. She slips away, pretending to go to the restroom. Nora sneaks into an unauthorized area. She takes an elevator up to the troll's face. Nora approaches it and touches it. She begins to hum. The troll's heartbeat quickens. The moment Nora turns around, the troll opens its eyes and starts looking at her. Everyone sees this. The troll's arms were bound with chains. The professor readies the UV light. But Marion doesn't want that to happen. She doesn't want to kill the troll. It had barely just woken up. She spills coffee on the UV light switch, preventing the lights from turning on. Nora escapes in the elevator. The scientists also start running out. The troll's hand breaks free and comes crashing down right onto Nora's elevator. Nora is thrown from the elevator as it falls. Andreas pulls her out of the lift. The troll crushes a professor beneath its feet. Andreas, Nora, and Sigrid quickly escape from there. The troll also breaks through the research facility and heads outside. The scene shifts to an Air Force base, to Major Chris. Nora arrived to meet him. They had all been together when they faced the previous troll. Norway's new prime minister arrived to meet with them all. He was already worried about the risks of this project, and today his fears had come true. But Marion insists that if they can still capture it and bring it under control, they can continue the research and learn a great deal. But Nora says there is no controlling natural forces. The prime minister says he only knows one thing. He has to protect the people of Norway. That's why the troll must be terminated as soon as possible. Hearing this, Nora gets angry because last time, an innocent troll turned to stone because of the government. The prime minister responds that he also lost his brother 3 years ago in a helicopter accident because Nora told the military to ring church bells in front of the troll. so the Prime Minister won't make the same mistakes that were made before. But Nora has a different plan. She approaches Chris, who is preparing his soldiers to face the troll. Chris says no before Nora can even speak. Last time, Nora was a scientific advisor, but this time she's just a civilian. So Chris won't take her along on the mission. But Nora tells him, "You owe it to my dad." Because of the previous troll, Nora's father and many others lost their lives. Chris says, "I messed up, but I won't do it now." Nora pleads, "I dedicated my life to this. Please, Chris." So along with Nora, Andreas also joins them. This time, the military even has custom-made helicopters equipped with UV lights for troll hunting. They're calling it a troll-killing machine. Marion also joins them. Chris, flirting a bit, lets her join easily. Andreas says goodbye to Sigrid. Sigrid tells him, "Don't try to be a hero. You are Clark Kent, not Superman." After that, the scene shifts to a club. People are dancing and enjoying themselves. But suddenly, the troll smashes through the club's roof. People start recording videos of it. The troll begins picking people up. This isn't a calm troll like the previous one. It's eating people. Chris arrives with his helicopter. He and his partner, Amir, both turn on their helicopter's UV lights and approach the troll. The troll starts burning from the UV lights. But after a second attack, it picks up an electric pole and hurls it at the helicopters. Amir's helicopter is heavily damaged by this attack. Amir realizes he won't survive. His helicopter spins in circles and crashes straight down. Chris is devastated watching this. Nora tells him, "Don't do anything stupid." But Chris, in his anger, stands right in front of the troll. The troll growls at him and turns away. After this incident, pressure on the Prime Minister begins to mount. On the other side, Marion says, "I didn't know that they are so ruthless." Nora replies, "Not all of them are like that. This one is different from the previous troll. The previous troll just wanted to go home." Nora says if they're monsters today, it's only because of us humans. Not us directly, but the men who lived before us. After witnessing all this destruction, Nora takes everyone to a place deep in the snow-covered mountains. It's a hunting pit. According to the legend, they wanted to get rid of the Troll King, so they kidnapped a troll child so the father would follow it here, into a death trap. But the Troll King survived the trap. He escaped 3 years ago. And if the story is true, then why were the remains of the captured troll child never found? Nora repeatedly taps on a stone here. She says, "Don't freak out." Because the very next moment, a troll appears before them. This was that troll child. Nora searched here dozens of times and couldn't find anything, because he didn't feel safe. He was watching from the dark. Nora touches it and once again makes a humming sound. The troll also starts making the same sound as Nora. This was perhaps their way of communicating. Nora doesn't even know how this is happening. She calls Andreas forward and teaches him to hum and communicate as well. Everyone's eyes well up with tears watching this. Nora had named this troll Beautiful. She tells him, "There is someone that only you can talk to." After that, Nora goes ahead and fires a flare into the sky in front of Jotun. Jotun moves toward her, and just then, Beautiful rises up from the snow. The two trolls start growling at each other. Beautiful stands in front of Nora, but Jotun kicks the ground, cracking the ice. Nora escapes and runs, but Beautiful falls into the water as the ice breaks. He struggles and sinks beneath the water. Chris quickly grabs Nora and runs. The troll chases after them, but they make it to the helicopter just in time. The troll tries to attack their helicopter as well, but they escape. Nora breaks down crying from the grief of losing Beautiful. A while later, looking at the troll's route on the map, they realize it's pilgrimaging north. Nora says her father used to talk about this. He told her how Olaf the Holy massacred the trolls. So this troll is heading to the very place where Olaf ruled. It's going there for revenge. Nora arrives in Trondheim with her entire team. They meet a woman named Esther here. Esther knew Nora's father. They all proceed to Nidaros Cathedral, which was built approximately between 1070 and 1300. The church ruled the country from here with an iron fist. Nora has come here to find St. Olaf's tomb, because Esther wrote in her book that Olaf's remains are still somewhere in the cathedral. Esther says, "I've often asked myself, If Olaf was so important to the church, why hide him down there? Unless Olaf and the church had a disagreement. Many people have tried to find Olaf's tomb over the years, but no one has ever found it. Nora's group also begins their search. Looking at one room, everyone thought Olaf's tomb wouldn't be here, but nobody found anything there either. But Andreas accidentally knocks a piece of the wall loose, and it falls. Esther sees this and moves it aside. Seeing this, she remembers that Olaf was struck by a spear in the belly. A spear was struck in his thigh. There's a hole there too. These were the wounds from his final battle. The last wound is on his neck. 3 holes opened up in the wall. Nora takes a fire torch lying nearby, inserts it into one hole, and turns it. They place 2 more fire torches in the other 2 holes the same way. Perhaps something is hidden behind this painting of Olaf. Andreas and Nora turn it together, and a chamber opens before them. They enter the chamber. Olaf's tomb lies inside. But as Nora starts to open it, Esther says, "No, you can't do that. This is Olaf the Holy." Nora explains to Esther, "I understand how you feel, but right now we need answers. We have to open it." Esther agrees. When they see Olaf inside, Esther's eyes go wide. She says, "Hey, good looking." Olaf has his sword with him, but it still hasn't rusted. Chris says, "It's silver, and it's a useless material for weapons, but it won't rust." Right there, they find the other missing piece of Olaf's law. Sigrid checks it and confirms it's completely authentic. But once it's complete, they discover that Olaf had actually said trolls shall not from this land be expelled. Olaf had actually given them a new home. But that's exactly why the church killed Olaf, because the church wanted to kill the trolls. So this meant Jotun's target isn't Olaf, but all of them. News of this troll went viral around the entire world. Everyone had their own speculations. The pressure on the Prime Minister increased so much that he admits they've lost their capital city. Right now, they're just evacuating everyone from the capital. They have no plan beyond that. Chris also receives orders to join the other soldiers, but Chris doesn't want to leave this team. This is their only chance to fix everything. Nora tells Andreas to go be with his family, but Andreas also decides to stay. They figure out how Olaf killed the trolls back then. Olaf had a silver sword, but the magic wasn't in his silver sword. Nora brings holy water from nearby, applies it to a stone part of the troll, and it cuts through it. So the power is in the holy water. So Chris went and enlisted the people of Norway in this mission. Together, they extracted and collected holy water from a mystical spring. The army fitted explosives into these drums of holy water. At night, everyone was ready to face Jotun. The sound of Jotun's footsteps alone made everything tremble. He smashes through a building and stands before them. As soon as he arrives, Andreas rings the church bells. The church bells affect Jotun. The military also opens fire on him. He's getting hurt. But then he uproots a tree and hurls it at the church, breaking the church bells. Jotun keeps advancing. The military runs to escape him. Then Chris detonates the holy water drums. Jotun is burned by it, but he still survives. Everyone has no choice but to run. But then, another growling sound comes from the distance. It's the troll child, Beautiful. Both Beautiful and Jotun start fighting in the middle of the city. But Jotun is far more powerful than Beautiful. He lifts him up and slams him onto a bridge. Nora picks up a gun to help Beautiful. Marion says, "His inside is vulnerable. Its heart is pumping everything through the body. We have to get water inside the system so it spreads and kill him from within." Andreas also says, "We can fly the helicopter over him and drop the bomb straight into his mouth." But they only have one holy water bomb left. Jotun beats Beautiful mercilessly, leaving him in terrible condition. Nora attacks Jotun, but he's pushing Beautiful's face underwater with his foot. From the helicopter, Andreas accidentally drops the bomb's detonator. Chris says, "Now we can only detonate it manually." Andreas asks, "Tell me how to do it." Chris explains that it requires a hand grenade, but the problem is that the pin must be pulled right before the bomb enters his mouth. That means someone has to jump and pull the pin on the way down. Jotun drowns Beautiful in the water and kills him. Above, Andreas says, "It's now or never." Andreas calls his wife, Sigrid. Their helicopter has reached right above Jotun. Andreas tells Sigrid, Tell the baby that Papa was Superman. Their call cuts off. Andreas grabs the water container and jumps toward Jotun's mouth. He pulls the hand grenade pin. He goes straight into Jotun's mouth. Jotun starts exploding from the inside. Beautiful was still alive. He rips out Jotun's heart and kills him completely. Sometime after this, Sigrid has her baby. Everyone else starts a new life. Beautiful also keeps coming to visit Nora.